So, in consciousness, what do we do when there are two things that are completely irreconcilable that are true at the same time? Let me give you an example. We know once we move into the infinite awareness that we are and beyond the plane and field of duality and polarity that there are no victims and there are no perpetrators. But as a human, we are totally victimized and we are wronged and we wrong others. So how is it true that we are a victim and that that's true and that there are no victims, which is also true? This is one of the key approaches and tenets of consciousness and of living in awakened consciousness is that we allow things that are irreconcilable to both exist in the same space at the same time, and we don't try to make them fit. Another way that we can do this is with our mental and emotional fields. So there's this common misconception that if I understand something, I will feel better. We want to understand why something's happening and what it means and what it's about. And there's this idea that if we understand it and we have cognitive awareness, it will impact or shift how we feel. And the truth is, there's actually no correlation between mental understanding and a shift in energy and consciousness, which is again why we end up in that place of two things that are completely irreconcilable existing at the same time. Because part of me will know I'm not a victim. There are no such things as victims in consciousness. There just is all that is. And then part of me will know, I totally feel like a victim. This person has done this thing and I feel wronged by that. Or, oh man, I totally did that crappy thing to that other person. And it doesn't exist. So understanding something doesn't actually change how we feel. What changes how we feel? Being present with how we feel. Now, this is the amazing superpower of awareness, because check this out. When we feel something, does that feeling have awareness, or is there something that's aware of the feeling? There's always awareness. There's always the observer and the observed. And the observer is what we are, awareness, and there are many layers of that actually. And the observed is what we think of as us, the identity that we are, the experiences we're having, and the feelings that we have. When we become really invested and identified with the thing that's happening, we lose track of what's observing it. We become the thing that we're experiencing, and then that feeling and that experience becomes really true for us. Now, the amazing thing is that as we wake up in consciousness, we are actually able to continually maintain, well, if not maintain at first perhaps, but eventually maintain and at least continually return to the space of awareness that we are, that is actually showing us everything that we're experiencing. And that's the difference between awakened consciousness and still being asleep. When we're asleep, we just feel like stuff's happening to us. We want to know why, and we figure if we know why, we'll feel better. We're just totally functioning from the mental field, which is a beautiful field to be in. It's just super partial. And then in awakened consciousness, we still have all those human experiences, but we are living from the space of awareness that is noticing them. We, instead of being identified with what we observe as our life, as our identity, as our person, as our personality, all the experiences, instead, we are resting in the space of awareness that we are. That's where the peace is. And that doesn't mean that messy things don't still happen out here in this place that we're looking at that we are as people. It just means we have a totally different relationship with them. So, you guys are courageous. Keep it up. Waking up is what we're here to do. It's all about waking up to what we really are. Every single thing in our life is pointing to that. Love you guys. Bye for now.